Don't talk about them and hide them, they're going to be 10 times worse.
So this year I'm a bit excited. We're potentially running a mowathon. We'll be mowing around in a little circuit with some fake workshop repairs that need to be done for a bit of fun.
We don't know how much we're going to raise. Every cent we raise obviously helps the foundation, and we're going to have a little bit of fun. I'm known for having a little bit of fun, so it's not all serious. I'd encourage other STIHL dealers to get behind it by promoting Movember and encouraging their own store activities like sausage sizzles, our mowathon. As STIHL dealers, we get a lot of people in the shop every day, a lot of men, so the more STIHL dealers involved, the better.
Until you're in that situation, you can't understand what it's like for other families to go through, and then looking back and us even thinking, how did we get through that? But we were lucky, we did.
Grow a mow, save a bro this Movember.
You got it!
You open your shed to the widest range of the best brands. Fully serviced, ready to go. All right at your fingertips. Plus a few mates to help sort you out. Yep, that's Kennard's Hire.
Kennard's make your job easy.
For a better way to buy garden power tools, go to your local STIHL dealer. They'll familiarise you with the tool and can get it ready to go. Better still, they can service it too, so it'll last for years. STIHL tools, only from STIHL dealers. There's 600 nationally. Find yours at stihl.com.au. Better STIHL.
Hello Gold Coast, welcome to the beautiful Broadwater Parklands for the original extreme sport, STIHL Timbersports. That's a good start. Make some noise. Guys, who's excited to be here?
Give a round of applause, guys. Let's fire it up. Come on, guys.
Who was here last year? We got any repeat offenders? That's the way. We love that.
Nice
Fire
one,
up.
nice one.
Outstanding. We are underway here on the Gold Coast. Second year running with the 2019 Australian Champions, proudly sponsored by the City of Gold Coast, guys. My name's Dan Anstey. This is Gaz Kempster. We'll be a host to today's proceedings, plus throughout the day, we'll be getting special commentary from the STIHL Timbersports Director and Chopperoos Team Manager, Lee Gooch, over here, ladies and gents. The Gooch Master is on board for another year.
Fantastic. We haven't got rid of him just yet. Now, the STIHL Timbersports is an international extreme sport competition series now contested in over 26 countries around the globe. Athletes compete against each other around the clock, and of course, it's hard racing disciplines based on traditional logging skills.
Anyone have not been to a live STIHL Timbersports event before? We got a few. You are in for a hell of a day. This is going to be outstanding. We love some fresh meat. Now, more than 40 athletes, including men, women, rookies, who are the under-25s, will fight tooth, nail, and chain with razor-sharp axes, high-powered chainsaws in a bid to be crowned the Australian champions, guys.
Fantastic. And they'll be fighting to secure a spot in the Australian Chopperoos team that will take will take on the world's best, in the 2019 STIHL Timbersports World Championships in Prague, of course, the Czech Republic, and 1st and the 2nd of November.
So this is what we got in store for you today. There's actually going to be 3 championships. So as we said, the Women's Championship, we're going to kick off with that. That's happening right now through to 11:30. Then the STIHL Timbersports Rookies Championship is going to be midday until 1:30. And then the big one, the STIHL Timbersports Men's Championship, 2:30 through to 5:30 p.m., where you are going to see the best STIHL Timbersports athletes in the world, guys, because they're all Australian.
Huge. Now, Dan, before we get things underway, we'd like to say a big thank you to our official partners, of course, the STIHL Timbersports Series. So, a big thank you to our official hire partner, and that, of course, is Kennard's Hire.
Our media partners for the event, 7 Mate and Hit FM.
Shameless promotion, mate. Don't you have a radio show on Hit FM?
Yeah, my boss has got to keep him happy. Keep myself employed, guys.
Absolutely nice one. Now, of course, we are a proud partner of the Movember Foundation. Whatever you grow will save a bros. And, of course, still voted #1 in quality garden power tools, only from your local STIHL dealer. With over 600 dealers nationwide, with garden power tool experts, you find your local dealer at stihldealers.com.au.
I believe we've got some of the STIHL dealers in the house. So any of the
There they are.
Good on you guys. Thanks for coming along. So if you're interested in getting some STIHL Power Tools. Go and have a chat to the lads and ladettes over there. They can sort you out.
And get in nice and early before the frothies start flowing at the bar, of course.
Correct. Absolutely. Now, let's get today's proceedings underway. We're going to introduce your judges.
That's the one.
On stage today, making the calls, we have Neil Richardson and Steve Lorenz.
Give a big
from
round
New
of
South
applause, please,
Wales.
Gold Coast.
Here they come. Our video judge for today, who'll be reviewing the times to 100th of a second from England. It's only Scotty Bennett, isn't it?
There he is. Oh,
Yes,
Nigel.
Scotty, you're right. Mind the gap. And officiating the scoring in the competition control centre from the Netherlands, it is Matthias Moulendijks.
Oh, nice one. Alrighty, fantastic stuff. Now, next up, give a warm welcome to the hardest man working the hardest in the job. He, of course, is the Australian Sports Director of STIHL Timbersports. Give a big round of applause for Queensland's own Shane Maxwell. Oh, he gets a bigger cheer than we do.
Love the cap. Shut up and chop. Love that, Maxie. Good man. Good to have you on board. Rightio, guys. Here we go.
All right, it's time to introduce our athletes for the 2019 Australian Women's Championships. So let's give a big round of applause. Let's crank up some music, DJ, as we introduce our first lot of athletes from Charleston, Tasmania. Give a big round of applause for Chris Brown. Oh.
Give it up for, from Mitchell Park in Victoria, Susie Coffey.
All right, from Kilmore, Victoria, make some noise for Adele Deverell. Make some noise.
Up fourthly, she is the local. She's going to have a lot of support out here from Mudgeeraba in Queensland. Just around the corner, it's Gillian Stratton. Oh, listen to the crowd. They go wild. Brought the whole family in.
There's a few more Queenslanders, so let's keep going on this Queenslander vibe. Make some noise from Crows Nest, Queensland, Jodie Butel.
Love that maroon, Jodes. Looks great on you, mate. From Redcliffe, Queensland, just up the M1 there, Katrina Head.
Alrighty, now a big round of applause for the 2017 Women's Champion from Winkley, Tasmania. Make some noise for Amanda Beams. Beamsy's on the jog already.
Get
Nice
that
to see
heart
you,
rate
Amanda.
up. From Lara, Victoria, last year's third place athlete, it is Madison Curley.
All right, welcome, Madison. Alrighty, now from Kilcoy, Queensland, last year's runner-up. So give a big round of applause for Renee Retschlag, everybody. Oh, biggest cheer of the day.
And finally, from Tamworth, New South Wales, our reigning women's champion, Debbie Clissold. On you, Debbie. Now, our 10 ladies will be competing in 3 disciplines, guys. First up, we've got the underhand chop, then the stock saw, then the single buck. I'm really envious of people who've never seen a still competition. It is a hell of a day. Just reading those events out gets me excited.
Get
guys.
excited, get ready.
In each round, 10 points will be awarded for first place, 9 points for second, and so on down to 1 point for 10th place based on the times that the competitors complete the event in. So whilst the athletes are competing in pairs, it's the clock that they are racing against. If one of our ladies make a rule infraction, they'll be giving a DQ, the dreaded DQ, guys, which means
You don't want any of that?
0 points. After all 3 disciplines, the lady with the most points is crowned our Australian champion.
Simple as that. Very exciting. There is a lot harder than it sounds, but we'll be showing you a leaderboard throughout the day, of course, and throughout the competition. So if you don't want to follow that, you can follow it on your device, which of course is data.stihltimbersports.com for live updates. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to timber,
Here we
so
go.
check out the screen so we can see what the first discipline is all about.
The underhand chop resembles the old school technique of cutting felled trees down to size. After removing approximately 50% of the front side, they pirouette to the back, devastating their block with power and precision, eventually driving the wood in two.
All right, if it's going to take a group photo of the lovely ladies, are going to be competing today in the Women's STIHL Timbersports Championship. Very exciting stuff. Give a big round of applause one more time, please, Gold Coast.
Love a bit of camaraderie up there, guys. Bit of jostling.
Well, I'm just dancing.
Bit of fun up on stage. That's what I like to see. Competitors, but all good friends.
Alrighty, it looks like in heat number 1, we've got Chris Brown on stand 1, and of course on stand 2, Susie Coffey.
Keep an eye on those clocks. Personal best here for Chris is 2 minutes 26.33. We're going to see if she can best that. Susie Coffey yet to post a PB.
Well, it looks like they're just changing up the colors. Now, of course, the underhand shot, you guys will notice, and we'll obviously talk through it throughout the commentary. They're going to obviously look to put X amount of hits in the front, and then they'll flip around onto the back. So it'll be very interesting to see how many they put in the front down, of course, before they flip around. It's all important to make sure you've got enough cuts put in the front so you aren't leaving too much work in the backside, of course. And it's all about the transitions as well. You can often get a few seconds there on that flip around down.
You really want to come home nice and easy with putting those drivers through when you flip to the backside there, guys. Too often we see athletes get caught up after think they've done enough work on the front, spin around, only for it to take as long, if not longer, on the back. So it's a real balancing act.
Absolutely, and I guess the important thing as well is obviously once they are ready to go, making sure they get those drivers in nice and steady. It looks like we're just getting the cameras, and it looks like we're ready to go. So we've got our first heat underway in the Women's Championships. Over to our judges, Steve Lorenz and Neil Richardson.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And they are off and chopping, ladies and gentlemen. Nice slow technique by the ladies. We want to make sure they get really good cuts in, going with that circular clockwise motion, as you can see from the guys. A lot of these guys obviously have been competing in STIHL Timbersports not for too long, so they've only been doing a few years. So they want to get that nice circular clockwise motion going, getting some big wood chips flying out before they, of course, flip onto the backside. Lee.
That's right, Gaz. We started the Women's Series here in Australia 3 years ago. So majority of the ladies hadn't really done too much of the underhand chop, focusing mainly on the single buck side of things, which is the predominant discipline within the ladies in traditional wood chopping. So every year they're getting faster and faster. This one's all about getting through the underhand, and then these two ladies really will start to bring home the points in the single buck and in the stock saw as well.
Lee, for concerned Gold Coasters watching on, we can assure them those are steel cap volleys.
No, they're not steel cap volleys. They've got chain mesh socks on underneath, so a bit like a bit of a butcher's glove.
Yeah.
And that will stop any axe cuts going through, but you will get a big bruise like you've just hit yourself with a sledgehammer.
Yeah, but always safety first here at STIHL as the ladies are approaching the drivers, putting the drivers through the block. Here we go.
There we go. Susie Coffey
taking it out.
New personal best for Susie and for Chris as well. Great cuts by both the ladies there.
That is outstanding work.
Fantastic. And they were both really happy about that as well, which is really good to see. That's one of the exciting things about the STIHL Timbersports. You want to make sure the athletes are really enjoying themselves as they do it. It looks like we're going to hand it over to the judges, athletes to the front of the stage. And just to make sure both cuts are good for this heat number 1, over to you, Judge Steve Lorenz. Oh, there it is, Dan. Both cuts are good.
Chris Brown going to be very happy with that. Previous personal best of 2:26, now 1:26, besting that by a minute. And Susie Coffey, having not had a personal best, posting one. Resetting now up on the stage for the next heat. Heat 2 coming up on stand 1. We're going to have Adele Deverell and Gillian Stratton.
Fantastic. Now, do we have their PBs there, Dan? What are their PBs if we're looking at it and watching from home?
Adele, previously personal best posted of 1:27.40. Gillian 1:49.82. So Adele's PB is going to put her in and around the running here. Obviously, 1:22 is what you've got to keep your eye on, ladies and gents, up there. 1:22.26 is the time to beat, guys, from Susie Coffey.
Now, so I'm just looking at some of these times. There is definitely Amanda Beams is significantly faster than that, so it's going to be interesting to see her But, of course, Madison Curley as well does have a faster time, and Renee Retschlag, last year's runner-up. So
Yeah.
it is going
Amanda
to be
Beams, of course, being the Australian record holder in this event in
quick.
just under a minute.
Yeah, sub 1 minute is very, very exciting and very, very quick for the ladies. So if anyone's getting in and around that, you know it's going to be some very, very fast times. All right, looks like we're nearly ready to rock and roll and get. So Dan, who have we got coming up in our second heat?
We are good to go, ladies and gents. It's going to be Adele Devrel on stand 1 and Gillian Stratton on stand 2. Personal best of 127 and 149, respectively.
Alrighty, let's get them up on stage, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise for Adele Devrel and, of course, Gillian Stratton. Give them a round of applause.
Keep your eye on those clocks, ladies and gents. 122 is the time to beat thus far, posted by Chris Brown. Oh, sorry,
right.
Susie Coffey. Chris Brown posted 126.
Alrighty, the guys are just getting themselves in position. So as Dan did allude to there, the time to beat 122?
122.
122.
So Adele will have to come in just slightly under her PB, 127. And Gillian's going to have to shave quite a bit of time.
All right, so
off here.
we've got Deverell on stand 1 and we've got Stratton on stand 2. Over to our judges for this heat number 2.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And they're off and chopping. Away they go. Deverell on 1 and Stratton on 2. They're going to be looking to try and get times in and around the 1:22 second mark. Dan, what are your thoughts on the girls so far?
Powerful strokes, aren't they, guys?
Yes.
There's a real difference in technique.
They seem to have a slightly faster axe speed. So as you can see, everyone's got a different sort of speed on that one. Lee, what are your observations so far with the ladies?
Gillian's put good front on that front side there, so working now around onto the back side. Adele, very disappointing last year, DQ'd in the stock saw, and her day was kind of already over, but it looks like she's putting in some good work on the back side of this, and we could be getting some times in and around that 1 minute mark for sure.
Alrighty, they are on the front side, as Lee has alluded to. Can they break? Bang! 53.05. Blink and you will miss it. Now we won't jinx it too early, but it could be
If
an
that's a
Australian
good
record.
cut. If it's a good cut.
Waiting to get these last three cuts in. Give a round of applause, please, Gold Coast. There it is.
Gillian Stratton cutting through.
107.50. Bang, 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 bang.
You are kidding. Outstanding work.
Blink and you will miss it. This is some impressive stuff here. These girls have just gone bang.
They've both broken the Australian record. Should the cuts be good?
58.05. Just the one Australian record. I think we got a little bit overexcited there, didn't we?
Cool.
Alrighty, nice
Just
work.
outside.
All right, we're going to hand it over to the judges to make sure that both cuts are good. Over to you, please, Steve Lorenz. All
It's
right.
a new Australian record.
Alrighty, that is, ladies and gentlemen, hold your applause. That is a new official Australian record. Give her a round of applause. She's beaten it by around 5 seconds, I believe.
That is outstanding work.
Wow, they have set the bar here, Dan. This is an exciting start to the day. Australian records already breaking now. As Lee did allude to, the women's competition has been going just for a few years, so there is a fair chance that some of these records will fall a little bit quicker than the men's ones. It's going to be going for a few more years.
That's great, though. What a great reason to come down here to Broadwater Parklands, check it out, see some Australian records topple, guys.
Alrighty. So who we got coming up in this third heat, and what are their PBs? Look, it looks like Katrina Head hasn't competed before in this particular discipline.
Debbie Clissold, though, 1 minute 53, so she'll be looking to improve on that.
She's going to need...
It's a bit nerve-wracking backstage to hear that to get a decent time on this particular event, you're going to need to compete with the Australian record.
Yeah, and to get the maximum points, you're going to have to break the Australian record. It's going to be a big ask for Debbie Clissold here. She's going to have to take a minute off her time. But as we know in STIHL Timbersports, anything is possible.
Hello.
Alrighty, heat number 3, nearly ready to rock and roll. As we said here, we're just going to get things underway very, very soon.
So I can switch it on and off easy.
Alrighty, Dan, what can we expect to see in this third heat? We're going to need to see some PBs for both the girls. Now, it's going to be easy to get a PB for Katrina Head because this is her first time competing. But they're going to be wanting to get, I think, to be getting in and around the points, they're going to want to be getting low 1 minute. So anyway, anything between 50 seconds and 1 minute 20, I think it's going to be getting the chocolates.
Well, you know what a good sign is, guys, that all 4 of our competitors have posted a personal best coming up here today. It must be the conditions, possibly the cut of the wood.
Yes, it's all about the cut of the wood. It's very, very important.
That's
for
right.
sure.
So, I mean, Chris Brown shaved a minute off of her PB.
Wow.
We saw Adele DeVrel there post the Australian record, which was 30 seconds under her PB.
Which would suggest that it is a softer wood. All right, looks like we're ready to get our athletes onto stage for this third heat. So let's give a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Katrina Head and Debbie Clissold. Alrighty, the girls are just getting themselves into position. So Katrina Head on stand number 1 and Debbie Clissold on stand number 2. As we sort of said there, Dan, Katrina Head is looking to put her first PB on the clock. Can she do it in the low 1 minutes? We'll have to find out very soon.
This is where people come to break records, guys. It's the beautiful Gold Coast.
It's obviously an overcast day here in the Gold Coast, Dan.
Terrible weather.
Yep.
I was contemplating not coming out.
This is actually the hottest day's weather I've probably seen in 6 months coming from Melbourne.
I was going to pop a jumper on, actually. I'm freezing.
Alrighty, the girls are just getting the last in position. Looks like we're ready to rock and roll. We're going to hand it over to the judges very soon and get this Heat 3 underway in the Underhand chop.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And they're off and chopping. The 2 girls here looking to put in some big times. Katrina Head on stand 1, Clissold on stand number 2. What do we make of the technique so far? The wood chips are flying.
Powerful, guys. This is great stuff. Powerful strokes, precision cutting.
It really appears to be a nice soft wood, which is going to be really interesting for later. If the wood does hold up throughout the day, for, of course, the women's, the rookies, and then the men's, we could see some times just continue to fly as the day goes on.
Yeah, it's an exciting day to be here at Broadwater Parklands up. We've got a turn there for Debbie Clissold on stand number 2.
She's wanting to break that BP, but I'll tell you what, Katrina Head is well in it here, putting some good times here. Let's make some noise for them, Gold Coast. The girls are hitting their hearts out here.
53 seconds is the time to beat, which is, of course, as we know, the new Australian record.
Can she keep it under that sort of minute 10, minute 20 mark and get ourselves well and truly in the points? It's going to be nice and close here. Up at that 1 minute mark. Going to put the drivers in very soon. You're going to start to see that wood move down, and then we're going to get a time placed on the bottom. There it is. Alrighty, first one in. Katrina Head done as well. 108.63. Give them a round of applause, please, Gold Coast.
Great times. Got to be happy with that. Good
Fantastic
times.
work.
Anything low minute mark is going to be good, guys.
Yeah, and you said that's Katrina Head's first time doing the underhand chop in a STIHL Timbersports series. So that, of course, is her PB. And Debbie Clissold has broken her PB as well. Over to the judges to officiate to make sure both cuts are good.
Both cuts were good.
Beautiful stuff. There we go. So, as we said, guys, the tradition continues. Every single competitor has either set a PB, obviously by competing here today, or broken their PB.
Fantastic stuff. So 105 was the time there, which is very, very good by Debbie Clissold. She's taken a little bit under 50 seconds off her PB. So PBs are going out like Christmas socks.
Look, I don't want to put the mods on anyone here, guys, but I reckon we're going to see one of the shortest held Australian records in history.
Yes.
Today. Adele Devrel has set it at 53. I think we're going to see when Amanda Beams comes through or Renee Retschlag comes in.
It's going to go whack, whack, whack.
Yep. But we've got Madison Curley, Jodie Butale. No Slouch is coming up next. There could be another Australian record falling in heat number 4.
Very exciting stuff. Yeah, so as you can see, Madison Curley, her time of 118.06 is a very, very good time. It's very, very competitive, and that was previous. So I think it's fair to say that we're going to be getting a time here sub 1 minute. So, well, as we said, we'll have to wait and see. Jodie Butale, 2 minutes 19. She's going to want to be improving on that. I think she will. Alrighty, there we go with the standings for our times. Adele Deverell with the fastest time of the day with 52.63. Debbie Clissold with 104.70. Katrina Head 108.33. And then, of course, Gillian Stratton so it's very close there, actually. There's only about 37 microseconds between 3 and 4, but it makes a big difference, of course, when it comes to the points. Susie Coffey with 122.26, and then Chris Brown a little bit off the pace there with 126.10. Tell you what, things are getting pretty sophisticated here in the commentary box. We've got computers
delivered
now.
an iPad. I've never seen anything like it. And is this the same data that can be accessed online, Lee, or is this similar to the what was that website, guys, we read out earlier?
Yeah, he's giving us a nod.
Data.
Yeah.
STIHL Timbersports.com.
How good is that? We're looking at it right now. This is very, very comprehensive. Gives you an entire idea of everyone that's been up to cut, their times, and the people that you're about to see. What stand they're on?
All right, we're good to go. So let's get our Heat 4 underway. Gold Coast, please make some noise for Madison Curley and Jodie Butale. Alrighty, this is exciting stuff. So we can see the PBs of the guys here, of course. Madison Curley with a PB of 118.06. And then, of course, Jodie Butale with a PB of 2 minutes 19.67.
52.63 is the incredibly rapid time to beat from Adele Devrel.
Which, of course, as we spoke about, Dan and Lee, is the new Australian record. How long will that Australian record last for? Time will tell.
I think we got some big underhand cutters coming up. Madison Curley is definitely going to, I think, break this record here. And then Amanda Beams, the previous record holder, can surely do that too.
If I was a Wood, I would be terrified for what's to come from the ladies here. Looks like we're ready to go. Let's hand it over to the judges and get this Heat 4 underway.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And they're off and chopping the ladies. It is going to be really interesting to see what sort of times the girls can post it. How are you making it so far there, Dan?
Once again, very impressed with the form. Strong, powerful strokes, but also very rapid, coming in a quick succession, especially from Madison Curley over there at stand one.
Oh.
Very rapid hits.
She got her axe caught a little bit there. Hopefully there's not a knot that she's going to be having to deal with. Who's going to turn first? It's going to be interesting to see. It's Curley that turns first. She's going to be looking to put in a good time here. She's in around the 30-second mark. Lee, what are you making of the two girls here so far?
Yeah, I think Maddie's on track there. A little bit of difficulty reaching the firewood on the backside, but I think she's got a really good front side there, and she's going to take this off in not too many hits at all.
Here we go. 52 seconds is the time to beat the Australian record. Can Madison Curley do it, ladies and gents?
Can she keep it under a minute? She's going to put the drivers... Oh!
Now, that time is not an official time because we will check on the video, and that time will be amended, and normally they come in, guys.
And, of course, Jodie Patel is still smashing away there. Got those big, powerful axe strokes. Give her a round of applause. Let's fire her up so she can finish off here, Gold Coast. She's going to look to put the drivers in now. She's going to want to keep this time in and around the 1:20-minute mark. It's just to be in the points. Putting the drivers in soon. You can see that. You can see the blocks starting to move. Drivers are looking to be in place now. How long has he got to go?
2 minutes 18 is the previous personal best. There it is, a new personal best from Jodie Patel. And a possible Australian record from Madison Curley. We are going to revise those times. They do come down slightly, Gaz.
They do often come down a few microseconds, sometimes a second. We're going to wait to hear in our ears the times. We'll hand it over to the judges for the official decision in this heat number 4. Over to you, please, Steve Lorenz.
Both cuts were good.
Alrighty,
There
both
it
cuts
is.
are good. Alrighty, now that was a very fast time, very close to the Australian record. That is, I know you're puffing, but tell me, how did you feel you went in that first heat?
Yeah, it went pretty well. Like, didn't cut as neat as I wanted to, but there's a lot of pressure up here, so the girls you really got to keep moving. So yeah.
Now you must be happy. A, it's a PB, but as you said, B, you literally might be microseconds off the Australian record. How do you think do you reckon you've broken the record?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just happy to cut like that. So yeah.
Congratulations. Give her a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. She's going to be competing throughout the day. Nice work.
Official time has come in there. Oh, it is just outside what is the new Australian record set by Adele Devereux. It's 52.92. Adele set a time of 52.63. So we're talking 0.3 of a second outside. It is tight at the top, guys.
For all those that don't know their numbers are maths, well, that's half a second. So half a second outside the Australian record. I tell you what, this is very, very exciting stuff. Very, very exciting stuff. So that, of course, is her PB. And that puts her into second place, Dan. So she's up in the points nice and early.
Heat 5, the final heat. We've got a replay up on the big screen, actually.
Here we go.
There goes, of Madison Curley coming within 0.29 of a second of breaking the recently set Australian record. Jodie Patel, of course, setting her personal best. Madison Curley there turning, as you can see, up on the big screen to get into the front. Very accurate hitting.
Big like swing on the axe stroke, isn't it? Look how high her axe gets. It's a really interesting stroke, and you'll sort of see throughout the day the different axe strokes. The one that I'm a big fan of is Lawrence O'Toole has a high stroke, and of course Braden Meyer has more of a short, sharp. They call him the woodpecker. It's nice and sharp, and his axe speed is quite quick. And there it is.
Madison Curley setting herself a new PB. And the second fastest time we've seen in the Australian Women's STIHL Timbersports Championship at 5.292. The previous Australian record holder, Amanda Beams, coming up now in Heat 5. Renee Retschlag as well, who has a personal best of 1:16, which is an incredibly quick time. So two of the top competitors here, we've saved them until last.
There it is on the screen there, Dan. As you can see, it is tight at the top. So very, very exciting stuff. And it looks like we're ready to get our final heat underway. And I'll tell you what, Dan, I'm excited for this one. So let's get them out onto the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for our two superstars of the sport, Amanda Beams and Renee Retschlag, everybody!
Competitors getting set now. Good chance, guys. We might see the current Australian record broken twice here. Big call, I know.
So just looking on the screen here. So as we said, 52.63 is the time to beat. So everyone watching in the crowd, keep an eye on the clock. Of course, keep an eye on the competitors. And with that time in mind, 62.63. A is the time to beat. B is the Australian record. And C, it is very, very exciting stuff. So the girls just getting their final preparations in place. This, of course, is heat number 5, gentlemen, in, of course, the underhand chop for the women's. It looks like we're pretty much ready to rock and roll for this heat 5. So we're going to hand it over to our judge, Steve Lorenz.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And they're off and chopping. Is their Australian record beckoning? We are going to find out very soon. A beautiful start by both the ladies. Dan.
Absolute top of the tree competitors here. No pun intended there, guys. Amanda Beams on stand 1, Renee Retschlag on stand 2. You are going to see a turn very soon.
Who's going to turn first? It's
Amanda
Beams. She wants that Australian record. Come on, Gold Coast. Let's get behind the girls. And let's see if we can see an Australian record fall. 52 seconds is the time to beat. Do they have it in them? Big, strong strokes. Drivers in. Bang!
Holy cow!
Bang, bang, bang!
If that is a good cut, that is an unbelievable time.
That would never stood a chance. There it is! 47.4. What has this happened?
I don't want to call myself Nostradamus, guys, but I did think that record could be broken by both competitors. Unbelievable choppers they are. We are going to have to wait, of course, to find out if the cuts are good. Although they look good from here.
They look very good.
They look amazing.
Now, we thought about 10 seconds might be taken off the time. A little more than that, but we need to obviously officiate to make sure that both cuts are good. Over to you, Steve Lorenz.
Both cuts were good.
Both cuts are good. The Australian record has been broken twice.
Alrighty, Dan's going to grab Amanda Beams there for a chat with our new Australian record holder. Give her a round of applause, please,
Well
Gold
done,
Coast.
Renee Retschlag as well. Amanda Beams is here. Amanda, were you thinking I'm going to break this record? Was that the thought going through your head?
Nah. Main plan was just to get the bugger off.
Well, you got that bugger off in an unbelievable time because you smashed the Australian record, which was only set 6 minutes ago, by 16 seconds. How does that feel?
Yeah, very good, very good.
So what a start to the day. Big round of applause, ladies and gents. 36 seconds, guys.
All right, and I've just heard in my ear that it might be a new Australian. It might be a new world record as well. So we're going to have to wait and see to get the official word that if it is, it's going to be jump for joy sort of stuff.
Do we know the world record time? It must be high 35s. Is it high 35 seconds?
Yeah, I think it's there and abouts. Unfortunately, we don't have an Ash Chewer in our wings. Alrighty. Oh, nice call there, Tam. Alright, so Australian records falling, excitement is flailing, music is pumping, STIHL Timbersports is alive and ready here in the Gold Coast.
We're going to revise those times, guys. I don't think the world record's going to fall. It's at 33 seconds, which is just unbelievable, but 36 seconds. That's an Australian record you think is going to stand for quite some time.
3 seconds off the world record. Amazing stuff. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. That is our standing on the leaderboard. So Amanda Beams, 36.16 in first place. And then Renee Retschlag, of course, there with a very, very competitive time, 47.20. Adele Deverell in 52.63. Madison Curley, 52.92 in fourth place there. And then the ladies tapering off for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, all the way down to Susie Coffey on 122.26.
So, guys, we have seen the Australian record broken 4 times.
Wow.
4 times today, obviously ending up being set by Amanda Beams.
Interesting stuff. It's probably worth having a chat to Lee about this. Lee, what sort of wood are we looking at today? It must be a softer wood from my experience. Is that correct?
Yeah, this is a different patch of wood that we've got this from, I believe, near Grafton, around that way. And it's, yeah, in the past we've struggled with getting some wood that's very similar to what they're chopping on the world stage in Europe. And looks like we've found the right patch.
Athletes ready?
And yeah, we're going to get some good times all throughout the day.
And so with all that in mind, I think we're going to see rookie records falling, and of course the men's records falling as well, which all just makes it a very exciting
Stand
competition.
to your timber. 3,
All right,
2,
so what do we have coming up
1,
next, Dan?
go!
We've got the stock saw, guys. So in a couple minutes' time, when we're ready, we're going to get that video up on the big screen. We're going to explain to everyone how the stock saw works, and then we're going to see it
Stand
done
to
in
your
person
timber.
by our female competitors.
3, 2,
And
1,
I think we're going
go!
to see records fall.
Well, the saws aren't revving, so I don't know why we're revving it.
Falling. It's world records I want to see fall.
100%. Now, it's going to be interesting as well, Liam.
Yeah.
As we said, big shout out to all our sponsors here today. Make sure you check out the Extreme Gear, the official merchandise stand here for all the latest tops, hats, you name it. They've got it. I can see some people over there in there buying a bit of stuff at the moment. We've, of course, got all our food trucks here as well. So make sure you grab some food from various vendors. I can see just from where I'm looking at here, we've got the Junkyard Barbecue Food Wire Smoke. Looks fantastic. We've got, look, that one looks good, the buffalo wings, sliders, and boards there. And of course,
one we can't mention there.
you can't talk about Fish Club.
The first rule of Fish Club is you do not talk about Fish Club, guys.
And I promise our comedy will get better as the day goes on. Looks like
No,
we're
it
ready
won't.
to.
It will not.
Looks like we're ready to rock and roll for our next competition. Who we got, Dan, for this first heat?
Coming up for the stock saw, we're going to have on stand 1, Adele Devrel, ladies and gents, and stand 2, Chris Brown, as they make their ways up to the stage. Let's have a look at the video of what the stock saw is all about. Athletes must cut 3 complete cookies in just 15 centimetres of the 46 centimetre diameter block. Jump the gun, cut over the line, or incomplete cookie will result in a DQ and end any chances of being crowned the champion.
All right, that was the hot sauce. We're going to have that a little bit later on. We're just testing, of course, all the videos.
It's a little tease there, though, isn't it?
All righty. So the guys are just getting in place. Just a quick little reminder, guys, if you do have sensitive ears and you are in the front, please block your ears with whatever devices you've got. You can actually use your fingers if you don't have anything here.
Yep, that'll do. Use someone else's fingers if you're close enough. So we're going to see our competitors here chop 2 cookies off the end of that log there, guys.
Yep. Now, it's very competitive that you obviously cut between the lines. You don't obviously cut out of the lines. There is a few things that you can DQ on this one. The guys are just obviously getting themselves set in position here.
We are looking at a time around, well, how we go off personal best. Adele's personal best is 19. Chris's is 18. So you'd be thinking a good time today, given this wood, would be sub that. So sub 18 seconds is going to be the time to get yourself in and around.
All right, looks like we're ready to go over to Neil Richardson. First heat, let's get it underway.
Warm up your saws. Athletes ready?
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And they're off and shopping, soaring.
Got to really listen to the revs of the motor there. I think Chris is just bogging that saw down just a little bit. That's why the chip slowed down. Just trying to get through that log fast. But there's Adele.
Personal best.
16.09 and Chris 20.29.
Give him a round of applause, please, Gold Coast.
New personal best for Adele Devrel. If indeed the cut is good, the judges are inspecting now. And remember, those unofficial times do come down a little bit, so we could possibly be seeing a sub 16 time.
So Dan, that of course is a PB for Adele, not for Chris though. Okay, so it's just potentially he's taken 3 seconds off the clock. Going to hand it over to Steve Lorenz for the official decision. Over to you, thanks, Steve.
Both cuts were good.
Oh, great start there by the ladies. So that, of course, Dan, is an official PB. Give a round of applause, official PB for Adele Deverell. She has taken off 3 seconds off her time, Dan.
Not that far outside the Australian record either, guys, which is held by Amanda Beams. It currently sits at 15.55. So, you know what? I'll make another big prediction.
Yep.
It's going to fall multiple times, that Australian record.
Another Australian record in the bag.
Especially given the bunching up. A lot of names on 15 seconds. Susie Coffey, Katrina Head, Renee Retschlag, Amanda Beams all have 15-second PBs. And the rest of our competitors have 16-second PBs. So I don't think an Aussie record of 15.55 is going to hold up today.
So I'm just looking on our computer screens here, of course, with all the various times. Dan, I think you're right. I think the Australian record will fall. It'd be interesting to see what the world record is, Lee. For the world record is for the stock saw, because I reckon that might be in some serious jeopardy as well. Alrighty, looks like we're nearly ready to rock and roll for this heat number 2. Let's get the ladies up on stage and fire things up for heat number 2 in the stock saw. So Gold Coast, can you please make some noise for Gillian Stratton and Madison Curley?
So the world record in this is 13.87 by Svenja Bauer from Germany. So we could get in and around there.
One more time, what was that, just for the people watching?
13.87.
13.87.
And actually, Maddie Curley actually owns the Australian record. There's a slight error on this sheet here. I believe it's 14.32 that she set in the first year we had the competition at Albert Park. So we just need to update that one.
Alrighty, so the time to beat, well, the world record to beat is 13.87, but let's not look too far ahead here. We're just going to go with, of course, with our time to beat, which is the first heat of the day.
Warm up your saws.
Alrighty, both athletes warm up the saws. Time to beat 16.10.
Athletes ready?
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Both get to the saw quickly. Nice even cuts. Who's going to drop first? It's Curley on the up saw.
A little bit of a bog there by Gillian. Just heard the engine drop. This is a great time by Maddie.
Oh, 15.7, which is going to be the fastest time of the day. Give him a round of applause.
Great time there. That's why she owns the Australian record.
Just outside of the Australian record, though, as we said, which that will be an Australian record, which is because 15.55 was the unofficial Australian record. We'll hand it over to the judges to officiate to make sure that both cuts are good. But Dan, that could be an Australian record. We'll have to officiate to make sure that is all good. But Steve Lorenz, over to you.
Both cuts were good.
Yes, and that time, generally they only come in there, guys, 15.76. You're looking at the Australian record being broken in the very heat after it was set.
Now, that's unofficial, so we're going to look to get the official time here. The current Australian record, 15.55.
Just this one here. Just smack bang in the middle is okay, but he's just got to be able to see either side or around you.
So we're currently 0.21 of a second outside of the Australian record for Madison Curley, and we are awaiting on the official ruling, as you can see up there on the big screen. Precision cutting. It's a real balancing act between getting it done inside the mark and getting it done quickly. You do not want to go outside those lines. That is a DQ, guys. That is 0 points.
100%.
And that is devastating.
It's so important, especially when these guys are doing only 3 disciplines.
Madison Curley, we've just heard 15.57 is 2/100ths of a second outside the Australian record. We're going to take a break here and come back in a couple of minutes with more action from the STIHL Timbersports Australian Championships.
Garden power tools. They used to be passed down. These days, they're more likely to be thrown down. Well, not in our world. STIHL tools have stood the test of time. German engineered, voted #1 for quality. Better still, they're more affordable than you might think. And they're only at STIHL specialist stores. Find yours online. Better still.
I'm Kieran Ryan, passionate Mobro from regional Victoria. I've been participating in Movember for the last 8 years. We started in 2008 as something that was a bit of fun. Movember really got serious for me and my group of friends when we lost 2 friends in a very short space of time to suicide, and that was something that was very hard to understand. I thought his two mates that are meant to be in the prime of their lives, in their early 20s, and one that had a family. This shouldn't be happening to my group of friends, and it shouldn't be happening to men in general. And that's the reason we're still growing our moustaches today. The conversations that these moustaches start helps change the stigma, especially around men's mental health. It needs to be something that men can talk freely and openly about. I want to see a world where no man is taking his life. This year I'm getting around Move, which is Movember's physical way to participate. I'm going to ride 330 kilometres. I'm going to ride from Melbourne to my hometown in Stawell and see one of our friends' graves who's taken his life. Donate to the Movember Foundation, because there's men that are still dying too young in life, and that's something that needs to change.
For a better way to buy garden power tools, go to your local STIHL dealer with spring specials on now. Like $50 off our top-selling trimmers, battery-powered mowers from only $4.99, and battery-powered trimmers and blowers from only $1.79. STIHL tools only from STIHL dealers. There's 600 nationally. Find yours at stihl.com.au. Better still.
Hey guys, just quickly, mate, $10 if you want to buy one of the cookies that have been cut off the logs here. That money goes to STIHL Timbersports, so just head on down the front here where, it goes to STIHL Timbersports, who then give it to Movember.
Gotcha.
So we'll take it and pass it on to the very deserving people at Movember, aiming to reach $100,000 in 2019. So if you'd like a cookie, please come see one of the timers between heats. $10, a cookie's yours. And of course, don't forget, we've got a bunch of these people in the house today, our STIHL Timbersports dealers, the locals. They're out in force, passionate about providing quality German-engineered outdoor power equipment at affordable prices. Your local STIHL dealer provides the best local knowledge and expert advice. So you leave with the right tool, they can get it ready to go. Better still, they can service your tool as well, so it'll last for years.
Fantastic.
STIHLdealers.com.au to find yours, or if you just want to pop your bum out of your seat, you can go and see some of the guys over here. I think we've got some of the STIHL dealers in the house.
I think you're in the bar area there.
Yeah.
There they are.
There's a couple of them waving, a couple of them can't because they're holding 2 beers in both hands.
Damn, mate, nothing worse than being double parked at Timbersports. But of course, they've got some spring specials now on, and we'll run you through those very, very soon. But without further ado, we're going to fire up the next round of competition. Dan, who do we have for this next heat of competition? Of course, in the stock saw. Looks like we've got Debbie Clissold and Jody Buttel. Make some noise, please. Gold Coast.
Very good personal best here, guys. 16.28 for Debbie, 16.2 for Jody Buttel. So we're going to see some quick times. Possibly the Australian record get broken again.
Well, time will tell. Alrighty, very exciting stuff here. as we sort of said, throughout the competition, we're going to expect to see times continue to fall, Australian records potentially broken, and maybe some world records.
So Madison Curley was 200ths of a second outside the Australian record. We saw the standing block Australian record fall before, hoping to see the stocks or Australian record fall.
Alrighty, so
possibly in seconds' time.
As we sort of said, the competitors throughout the days, they have posted good times, but this wood is a little bit softer. Lee, our tournament director, has obviously touched on the fact that we were trying to replicate some of the wood from the overseas competition. We seem to have found that. Over to the judges. Let's get this next away.
Warm up your saw.
Saws are rare in competition. Is ready.
Athletes ready?
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And they both get to the wood pretty much at the same time. Whose wood will drop first? Bit of a bobble there on the upcut. And it's Jody Boutel with a time of, it looks to be around 13.96.
Whoa. That could be. Guys, if the cuts are good.
Give a round of applause,
Debbie
ladies and
Clissold wrap
gentlemen.
up there. Yes, round of applause. We could be seeing a new world record here, ladies and gents, from Jody Boutel. We're going to verify that the cuts are good. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, as we always do.
Alrighty, the judges are just having a bit of a look at the cookies there. Looks like we're all good. Over to Steve Lorenz for the official decision.
DQ on stand 1, incomplete cookie. Good cut on stand 2.
Alrighty.
Gaz, that could mean our reigning champion may be out of the running, unfortunately there. A DQ in this 3-discipline format does mean you lose a lot of points.
Of course, as we ran through before, a DQ means 0 points. I believe, guys, you're with Jody Boutel now.
Now, Jodes, that from what I can see is an Australian record, so you must be pretty happy about it. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. You must be happy.
Stoked.
Woman, a few words. And what was that official? We might really ask our judge there. What was the official time there?
13.78.
13.78. Does that fall in world record time? That's just outside. Give her a round of applause. She's just fallen outside world record. How are you feeling about the competition? You must be loving the STIHL Timbersports.
After that underhand I had, I needed a good time in this, so hopefully that'll be good enough to get me up in the first few spots, and then it'll be the single next. So
Fantastic. And are you enjoying Timbersports on the sunny Gold Coast?
absolutely wonderful place to have it, so hopefully we'll see it back here next year.
Congratulations. Good luck for the rest of the competition. Ladies and gentlemen, Jody Boutel, everybody.
The water was actually 12.
So as we mentioned, if you come down to just by the official merchandise tent at the front gate here, if you do want one of these cookies for your pool room, for your shed, no man cave or woman cave is complete without one. It's a $10 donation, all proceeds going to our proud partners in Movember.
That's it, Lee. $100,000 hoping to raise in 2019. Leaderboard up there, Jody Boutel, the Australian record holder, newly crowned, 13.78. Madison Curley falling just outside what was the Australian record by 200ths of a second. Debbie Clissold sadly DQing there, and as Lee Gooch, our tournament director, mentioned a second ago, that means 0 points.
As we sort of touched on, as Lee touched on, Dan, that pretty much can almost mean competition over.
Debbie Clissold would need 2 first place finishes, really, and then she would end up with 20 points to get in the mix, but that's a very hard ask.
As we sort of touched on throughout the competition, it's so crucial that the guys do get there. It looks like we're ready to go for this next heat of competition. So can we please make some noise for our heat number 4 competitors, Susie Coffey and Katrina Head.
Some excellent PBs here. Susie Coffey's PB. Gee, they're both sub 16 PBs. 15.91 for Susie Coffey. Katrina Head's PB is currently 15.78. I think, well, I would hope they're both going to break those PBs, which would mean coming close to the new Australian record. So the time you need to remember is 13.78. That is the fastest time from Jodie Butel.
13.78,
Not only that,
yep.
the Australian record, guys, 13.78.
Very, very quick. Can it be broken? We will wait and see. Good to go. Looks like we're going to hand it over to the judges and get this Heat 4 underway.
Warm up your sores. Athletes ready?
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And they both get to the wood nice and quickly. Looks like Katrina Head with a slight lead. Nice on the upcut. Times are looking good. Oh, there it is. She's going to have to go for a third cookie there. Susie Coffey wasn't happy with that second cookie. And done just to make sure. Give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Susie Coffey and Katrina Head.
Katrina Head looking at a new PB there, Gaz. If
Yep.
the cut is good. Previously it was 15.78. So that time will come in a bit. Got to be happy with the new PB. Judges checking the cuts to make sure all is above board.
So important that you get 2 complete discs, and that's why obviously STIHL Coffey went to get that third cookie just to make sure. But we're going to hand it over to the judges for the official decision in this heat number 4.
Both cuts were good.
Alrighty, she's done well there, which has meant she hasn't got the DQ, which she has got the points there. So very wise there by Susie Coffey. So Katrina Head there with what appears to be a PB. We'll have to wait and find out. We're just looking at our screens here. Now that time has put Katrina Head into second place. So far there's second place there, Dan.
15.44, which, if Jodie Butel hadn't broken the Australian record, would have been the Australian record. So we've seen 2 Australian record breaks in the stock saw. Jodie Butel currently holding it. Katrina Head, her time just there, 15.44, very competitive. Pips Madison Curley, who is currently at 15.5 seconds. 5.7, sorry.
Now, it's all very interesting, but it's going to come down to, once again, with these 2 superstars, Renee Retschlag and Amanda Beams, who, of course, have been setting the bar so far all day. Can they beat the Australian record, which obviously was held by Amanda Beams? Now, that is past tense, Dan, because it's no longer the Australian record.
It's Jodie Butel's, mate.
So up there at the moment, what we've got is the live leaderboard. So we've still got 2 competitors to go. But if all things stay as they are, that's how the leaderboard will be moving into the next round. But we know, sitting there, who haven't gone so far, we've got Amanda Beams and Renee, who are sitting in there or thereabouts. So they pick up some points, they could leapfrog up to the top.
Very, very exciting stuff. You'd expect Amanda Beams and Renee Retschlag to put in some really, really good times here. As we sort of said, Amanda Beams breaking that Australian record. She's going to be looking to go for maximum points here to get the chocolates. Looks like the guys are nearly ready to rock and roll. Alrighty. I think it's time to get the athletes on stage and get this final heat underway, Gold Coast. So can you please make some noise for Renee Retschlag and Amanda Beams?
Amanda Beams last year ended up finishing in 3rd place. We know she wasn't happy with that, so she's back. Great underhand chop to start with, and we're looking to follow that up with a great stock saw as well.
She'll be looking to claw back her Australian record, which she held until the 3rd heat today. Jodie Butel now holds that Australian record.
Will we see another Australian record fall, ladies and gentlemen? Will we see a world record potentially be shaken, shattered and moved? 12.3 is the world record. But the time to beat everyone, just keep an eye on that, of course, is Jodie Butel's time. Butel's time of 13.78. So keep an eye on that as you're watching the competitors.
Time is ready.
Looks like we're nearly ready to rock and roll. We're going to hand it over to the judges to get this final heat underway in the stock saw.
Warm up your saw. Athletes ready?
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, it's very, very close. It's Retschlag that gets to the timber first. Oh, she's cut outside the wood. Beams with the upcut here. Needs a fast time. What's it going to be? 15.90.
You do need 2 complete discs, guys, as we know. So Renee Retschlag going back there for another
Give a round of
crack.
applause, please.
Smart again, because you do not want that DQ.
The pressure is immense up there. You know, they'll be in the backyard. They'll be cutting these discs off just time after time. But as soon as you get it up on the big stage, sometimes the pressure can get you.
Alrighty, so Amanda Beams with 15.90. Not a bad time. She would have been looking for something a little bit faster than that. What was her previous best? 15.55?
Which was also the previous Australian record. So just outside of that.
All right, we're going to hand it over to Steve Loren for the official decision in this heat number 5. Oh, there it is. Alrighty. All right,
Bit
we'll
of
grab Beamsy
camaraderie
for a
there
quick
on
chat.
stage. Cheeky high five on the exit, guys.
All right, I might get you to stand there just so we get the heights right. Now, you must be happy with that, the solid time. Obviously, it's a very tight competition. Talk me through it.
Yeah, it's bloody nerve-wracking up there, mate. Like, I got DQ'd in this event last year, and yeah, being the previous title holder, it absolutely gutted me. But yeah, I'm very excited to get a time.
Now, can I say that obviously with it, you were not conservative, but you're playing it very, very safe. You just wanted to get 2 complete discs. You wanted to get your time on the board. Is that a fair comment to make?
Yep, absolutely. That's what I wanted to do.
Okay, now your time, so 15.90 is unofficial time. I reckon that's going to come down a little bit in and around your Australian record.
15.7, my friend.
15.7, so just outside your personal best. Congratulations, Amanda Beams. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
So we did see the Australian record fall twice there. Jodie Butel coming out on top with the new Australian record at a very, very rapid 13.78. Personal best set by Madison Curley, Adele Devrel as well.
Oh, the leader. So the live leaderboard, we might read it out in advance. So Amanda Beams has come up to first place there with 17 points. Is that correct? 17 points. There it is on the leaderboard. And, of course, the Tasmanian Madison Curley, the Victorian, 15 points in second. Adele Deverell, the other Victorian, 14. And then the Queenslanders nailing it out there. Katrina Head, of course, in fourth place there. And then Renee Retschlag off the pace with 11, and she's actually tied there with Jodie Butel on 11, and then it tapers down from there. So, very, very interesting, very, very exciting. It's going to come down to this last legal competition. What are your thoughts on it, Dan and Lee?
Amanda Beams got a very handy 2-point lead. Lee, like you said, mate, it's a 3-discipline competition. So those 2 points are going to be very handy that Amanda Beams has got it up the top, just on top of Madison Curley on 15.
And single buck, I can tell you from experience, there isn't many faster in the world on the single buck than Amanda Beams, Lee.
That's where you're wrong, Gaz. Single buck isn't actually Amanda's strongest discipline. So I think that she's going to want to be able to put a good time in up there. But we've got some really fast single buckers down the line. Those ladies sitting down in the lower points. We know Chris Brown, her husband makes all the saws that most of the competitors are now using. So she's had a real advantage. Gillian Stratton's lightning fast on the saw. Renee Retschlag, she's going to be quick too. So there's going to be some really fast times. And Jodie Butel, she knows how to work a single buck.
Fantastic. Now, as you sort of said, there's some of the girls at the bottom. What do we know in terms of with the Australian records for the single buck? What are we looking at in terms of? We'll have to get back to you on that one. Just in terms of the fastest times, and then of course the world record. We'll let you know very, very soon what these guys are going to be aiming towards, but it's all about getting, obviously, getting to the competition. No GQs, get your points on the board for your chance, obviously, of course, to be crowned, Dan, the women's champion.
The Australian champion. Amanda Beams currently has a total time of 51.86 seconds. Total time. She's the only competitor in under that minute mark. Madison Curley in second place is a minute 8.
Now, is that, of course, if we have a tie at the end there? I think that comes into contention.
That's it. They go down. So that's their times added together so far from the underhand chop and the stock saw. So
guys,
Beams is having a hell of a day, Lee.
We're just going to work out the single buck pairings for this last discipline. So the ladies will go in reverse order from where they are currently sitting on the ladder. So we know what the pairings are gonna be there.
So Susie Coffey and Debbie Clissold will be competing first, if that's what the format that you're going
That's
on.
what you want, because then we end with an unbelievable Heat 5 of Amanda Beams v Madison Curley for the Women's Championship. I mean, depending on how the cookies crumble, so to speak.
Pardon the pun.
That is going to be the big one.
Yeah.
Only 2 points separating them.
Now, what's quite interesting as well, and to look at Adele Deverell and then Katrina Head, they actually, it says third and fourth, but that, of course, is just done on time. They actually are equal on points.
That's right, guys, yeah.
So it's anyone's game.
Adele Deverell on a minute 8, only just outside Madison Curley, who's also on a minute 8. It is just split seconds separating them, but then, of course, 1 point also separating them. It's tight, guys. It's tight at the top. Up there, we can see on the big screen. This is Madison Curley.
The replay,
Jodie Butel from earlier today. The underhand chop. Here we go.
There we go. All right, so the format is going to be as such. Debbie Clissold and Susie Coffey in heat number 1. PBs of 30.87 for Debbie and 28.92 for Susie Coffey. And then it'll be Dan. We're going to have Chris Brown with a PB of 26.94 going up against Gillian Stratton at 27.75.
Jodie Butel will take on Renee Retchley. Katrina Head will take on Adele Deverell. And Madison Curley will take on Amanda Beams. And we are going to find out who is the Women's Australian STIHL Timbersports champion.
Very exciting stuff. So as we've sort of looked at, it's going to potentially come down to the final heat of the day. And then, of course, the national record holder is, of course, Renee Retchley with 22.52. Can the guys get in and around that time? We think so, based on previous competition, Dan.
Absolutely, based on the wood today as well. So
is that the world record there?
The world record is 13.87. That is blitzing fast, given that the Australian record from Renee Retchley is 22.5. What were they cutting there? Butter?
All right, so check out the screens, guys, to see what the single buck video, we're going to see what the single buck is all about.
With its peg and raker system, the athlete pushes and pulls the single buck saw through a 46cm pine log. Their wedger oils the saw and drives a wedge between the cookie and trunk to help avoid friction hang-ups.
Now, we're looking at that time one more time. So the world record is 13.87. So I'm not sure if they were using a samurai sword to cut that one, but it's pretty quick.
What were they cutting? Butter?
So that is that's actually cut on white pine. So the pine that we have up here is hoop pine, which is a slightly different species, which is a little bit firmer. We don't actually have any white pine in the regrowth forests across Australia. So
we don't use the soft stuff, though.
We're not going to get close
like
to that, unfortunately.
Competitors. We don't stoop to that level.
Sounds like it's at like one level off balsa wood. If you cut those times. All right, it's time to rock and roll for this first heat. So, Gold Coast, can you please make some noise for Debbie Clissold and Susie Coffey in this first heat of the single buck?
Personal bests here are hovering around that 30-second mark. Debbie Clissold, 30.87, just outside. Susie Coffey, just inside at 28.92. So, given what we've seen so far today, you'll expect some personal bests to get broken. So, maybe check out in this heat around that 25-second mark, possibly, guys.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's going to be very, very exciting stuff. The guys are just getting themselves. It does take a couple of minutes because they'll obviously get the single buck in place. Lee, do you want to tell us a little bit about the saws while we're going? Because there's quite some intricacies to the actual saws with the two pegs, etc.
Yeah, these saws up here, both running KBT racing saws. I mentioned earlier on Chris Brown, one of the competitors, her husband and her have a very good business where they're actually making these saws, filing these saws. So they're costing in and around $2,000 to $3,000 each for these saws. They're about 2 meters long, as the video said, and they are precision equipment up there. So you'll see, I'm not sure you can quite see on the video screen, but there's 2 sets of teeth on there. They're called peg and raker. One's a peg, and one's the raker. So the peg is just clearing out the chips out of the cut there, and the raker is cutting it through.
And Lee, does the nickname Misery Whip need any more explanation?
No.
Pretty much summarises exactly what this discipline is all about. It's back-breaking work.
It looks like
it requires 2 people as well.
The raker is obviously raking out. I got it the wrong way around.
Peg.
Raker.
Raker. Peg cutting, raker, raking.
Oh,
professional operation we're running over here under our umbrella.
Glad we clarified that. Now, as you can see, they are very, very. What sort of weight are we looking at with these with the single bucks, Lee?
Pretty heavy, Gas.
That's the official weight class. Pretty heavy.
Now, one person will operate the saw, and you've got a wedger in behind it. It's good to see a bit of camaraderie as well. A lot of the competitors use other people that they are competing against in this very competition to help them out from time to time. They'll separate the cookie.
Yep.
Keep that saw lubricated, guys, because they do get very hot.
Now, Maxie's just told me they're about 9 kilos. About 9 kilos. That's right, Maxie? 9 kilos is the weight, which is about as much as Dan and I weigh, so it's pretty impressive. All right, looks like the guys are ready to rock and roll to get their last little bits in place, and we're going to hand it over to the judges to get this heat 1 underway in the single buck. Debbie Clissold versus Susie Coffey.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And they're off and sawing. Now, you want to make sure you don't get any hang-ups. That, of course, is the saw getting caught and or stuck. So you want to get those nice long strokes going. Get your technique really working through. Where it's going to really start to hurt is the middle section. It's where it really starts to hurt on the obliques and, of course, on the stomach muscles. The girls are doing a beautiful job here working through it. Let's make some noise for them, please, Gold Coast. As they get through it, they're going to look to put in a really good time here. Both are going to be really close. Cookie's going to fall first.
Oh! That is tight. 0.4 of a second separating them, guys.
Lovely, lovely techniques there. I don't think we saw any jags whatsoever, so they had those swords running smoothly. They weren't wobbling back and forth. That was really great technique and 2 really great times.
Very close to their personal best. Just outside for both competitors. We're going to inspect those cookies, make sure the cuts are good.
You couldn't ask for like literally any closer than that. Literally about like under half a second after the times. Over to Steve Lorenz for the official decision on this one.
Both cuts were good.
There it is. Debbie Clissold, Susie Coffey on the board. Good cuts.
Very impressive stuff. Very good times. I'll tell you what, they've come out swinging here. I think these times are going to be hard to beat. Will they be beaten by the guys obviously coming up next, the ladies? Time will tell.
Personal bests coming up for Chris Brown. Just under 27 seconds, 26.94. As we see the replay up there on the big screen. And Julian Stratton's personal best, 27.75, guys.
So you can see on the replay, they're really nice long stroke techniques, as we sort of commented on. No hang-ups, no jags, which is really, really important because it's obviously it slows your times down, Lee, but it also hurts the obviously confidence going through. They get one hang-up, they think they might get another one. They start questioning their technique. You don't get any hang-ups. It really, really does put you forward for a really good time.
Yeah, that's right. As soon as you get that first hang-up, your mind really goes and you just think, I've got to get this saw back up and running again. And then all of a sudden another jag comes and it starts playing. It's as much as a mental game as it's a physical one in the single buck for sure.
And I imagine quite physically uncomfortable too when you're putting all of your body's weight behind that saw only for it to stop dead. That can't be a comfortable feeling.
Absolutely.
Give us a wave if you can see yourself up there on the big screen, ladies and gents.
Now, of course, the STIHL Timbersports series it will be showing on 7 May. I believe it's 12:30. It does show on. What are the dates that the STIHL Timbersports is going to be live on 7 May?
So every Saturday, 12:30 on 7 May, we are running through at the moment last year's series, and then coming in December, beginning of December, we'll be running out this series with the Gold Coast competitions being roughly around January time.
Fantastic stuff. All right, so if you want to see yourself on TV, give a bit of a wave and then just make sure you're tuning in to 7 Mate to see what it's all about. Looks like we're going to get the next competitors up onto stage and fire things up for heat number 2. So please make some noise, Gold Coast, for heat number 2. Chris Brown and Gillian Stratton.
Arms around each other as they make their way to the stage as well. Love seeing a bit of camaraderie there. That's what this sport is all about. It is fierce competition, but that doesn't mean we can't be mates when it wraps up.
All right, this is going to be very exciting stuff. Can the guys break the previous PBs 26.94 and 27.75 down? It's going to be very tight.
Well, look, if they do a PB or just outside, they'll go to the top of the leaderboard. So that's what they've got to be aiming for. We saw the times then. We're a couple seconds outside PBs. We get a repeat. We'll be doing well.
Okay. So they're just going to get... Now, talk us through, Lee, what's the reasoning behind why the guys, obviously, they put a few sort of strokes into the wood? That's obviously so they can get themselves settled?
Yeah, that's right. So they get 25 centimetres starting cut there. What that does is just gets the teeth into the wood. So when they're starting the saw, they can get 5 or 6 of those teeth just running through and just makes the start nice and easy. Thing with these saws is that if you did start on the top without the starting cut and you went a little bit wayward, then there's a high possibility that you might cut out, you might cut underneath the block, or you might actually get it on a bit of a curve and get the saw jammed. So just to make sure that everyone has the same conditions, same start, and we have some good, really fast times.
All right, looks like the guys are pretty much ready to rock and roll. All right, time to beat is 31.94.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And they're often soaring nice conservative strokes by both the ladies here. They know how important it is to get no hang-ups in this early part of the single buck.
Yeah, it's important at the top of the log there just to take some nice short strokes, just because you only got a few teeth into the wood, so you could get a jag. But as soon as you get through the middle part of the log, that's when you can really open up the stride, really open up the stroke and get all teeth running through the saw. And then when you get back down to the bottom again, you might want to just shorten up again just to make sure you don't get any more jags.
Okay, and as we saw, we had 2 hang-up, 2 jags there, which is going to cost Julie Stratton just a little bit of time, but fantastic work there. And last lot to go, there it is. Give them a round of applause, guys. Fantastic work by Chris Brown and Gillian Stratton. I really feel like those probably 2 hang-ups there cost Gillian Stratton about 2 seconds, which would have got her sort of in and around the 34 mark. Still very good times.
Both cuts were good.
Alrighty, both cuts are good. Fantastic work in the second heat by the ladies. .35.89 is the time there for Gillian Stratton. So outside her PB, so you probably won't be all that happy with that one, which is fine. It's obviously competition. Alrighty, so we're nearly ready to rock and roll for, of course, this third heat. Now, these guys have even better times. These guys actually have, Lee, the best times out of all the competitors here. You're looking at 22.70 for Judy Patel, and Renee Bretschlag has 22.52. So they are the fastest times.
Yeah, Australian record there, obviously, for Renee and Jodie just behind. So this is going to be the battle of the day for sure. One of these 2 ladies could rock it up to the top of the leaderboard, and then we're going to get them to come and join us if they do over here in the hot seat as we see if any of the other ladies can beat their time and beat their scores.
All right, we're going to get them up on stage. So can we please give a big round of applause, please, Gold Coast, make some noise for Jodie Patel and Renee Retschlag.
This is the heat to be watching. This is where you would think we have the best odds of an Australian record falling, Gaz, because we are
100%.
watching the Australian record holder and Jodie Patel, who is only just outside the current Australian record. 22 seconds is the time to keep in your mind as you watch the big screen.
And the really important thing, as we've sort of said about here, if these guys can break their Australian records, it's going to put on a hell of a lot of pressure for the last heat with Madison Curley and Amanda Beams, who, of course, are fighting it out for that top position. And, of course, the guys competing for that third spot as well. So can they break their Australian records? Can they put the pressure on the ladies? Let's find out. Okay, just getting themselves in position. Dan, I'll tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm very excited for this heat.
This is what to watch, guys. We've seen multiple Australian records. Well, we've seen 2 Australian records get broken multiple times today.
We haven't seen the Australian record fall yet for the single buck.
No.
Time to beat 22.52. I can almost bet my house on 13.87 world record is not in contention for today.
No, that was softwood, that, mate.
That was the balsa wood with the samurai sword.
That was plywood. We don't cut that stuff like the internationals do. We cut the hard stuff over here, guys. That's why Australians are so unbelievably competitive when they go to the World Championships, because they train at what is 150, 160, 170% constantly.
They've got the leg weights on the running
That's
race type thing. All right, looks like the guys are pretty much ready to go. Once they spin those saws around, that means that we know that we're ready to fire up this heat number 4, of course. Alrighty, the saws are in place. This is very exciting stuff. Can the guys break it into... Sorry, heat number 3. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Heat number 3. All right, we're going to hand it over to our judge, Neil Richardson, in this heat number 3. So once again, we've got on stand number 1, Jodie Patel, and stand number 2, Renee Retschlag. Just getting a few last minute things sorted out. Era, over to the judges.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Alrighty, and they're off and soaring. Nice conservative start by both the competitors, but it looks like Retschlag has got off to a strong lead there with those long, strong, powerful strokes. Can they break their PB times and set some records for the day? Moving through the middle section
Hearing
now.
some cheers of go, Mum.
Here comes Jodie Patel. She's working through the middle section here. All these times are going to be good. And there it is. Bang!
Boom.
Done and run. Oh, slight hang up. She's got to finish off. There it is.
Time to
31.
beat, Gaz, was... By looking at this, right, 26.68, 31.54. They both, that is first and second place finish.
There it is. Give a round of applause, guys.
If the cuts are good. If it's good, that'll be some very handy points.
All right, over to Steve, the judges. For
Both
the
cuts were good.
Alrighty, nice work. All right, we might grab a quick chat there. Fantastic work. I know it's the hardest one to chat after because the gut's absolutely killing. You must be happy with that.
Yeah, that's really hard soaring wood today, but that was a good time, I guess, for me. The best yet. So.
How are the nerves when you're obviously standing up there, you're obviously waiting for that first one? You don't want to have any jags, don't want to have any hang-ups. How are the nerves?
The nerves get better by the third discipline. The first, it's a bit. The second, and then that's my best discipline, so I was good going up there that time.
Fastest time of the day, maximum points. Congratulations. Give a ring round of applause one more time, ladies and gentlemen.
Working our way into heat number 4 now. We're going to see Katrina Head take on Adele DeVrel. Personal best of 45 and 37. I think we are going to see 2 personal bests get busted up here. But the time to beat is very, very quick. 26.50 from Jodie Butel, which puts Jodie Butel in first place. But of course, we still have Amanda Beams, Julian Stratton to go. Or sorry, just Amanda Beams.
Fantastic. All right, let's welcome our next competitors to the stage. Please make some noise for Katrina Head and Adele DeVrel, please. All right, so as Dan did allude to, our live leaderboard, Jodie Patel is currently leading with 21 points and Renee Redslag on 20. But, of course, we've still got these 4 competitors to come down.
Yes, indeed. We've still got Amanda Beams and Madison Curley to come, who are currently on 17 and 15 points. So Jodie Butel's on first with 21. Amanda Beams, Madison Curley yet to compete with 17 and 15. So you think they are going to jump, as you can see up there, on the live leaderboard on the big screen, ladies and gents. You'd think that Amanda Beams
Tell you who we need.
is going to jump up the top there.
She's just got to put it in a time in and around that 3rd or 4th spot, and it's pretty much a sewn-up thing. Madison Curley with 2 points off Amanda is going to want to obviously finish 2 places higher.
That's right.
Than Amanda Beams, who's high on the leaderboard. Break an Australian record, win the chocolate. Simple as that.
Adele DeVrel and Katrina Head currently in 7th and 8th place, both on 14 points. So a good finish here will propel them up to the top of the leaderboard.
Alrighty, just big breaths out there by Adele. Obviously wanting to calm the nerves. Last few moments, getting themselves set. So we're going to hand it over to the judges to get this Heat 4 underway.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And away they go. All important, make sure there's no hang-ups. Nice and early there by both the ladies.
Personal best, Katrina Head, 45. Adele DeVrel, 37.
Slight hang-up by Katrina Head there. Won't cost her too much time as long as she can get into a nice groove here through the middle section of the single buck. Oh, another slight hang-up there, but that's okay. They're working through it beautifully here. They're going to need to really dig deep here. Let's make some noise for them, Gold Coast. Let's get behind the ladies. Come on.
One of these 2 ladies could rocket up to the top of the leaderboard and could be in our hot seat. So we just need to see what these times are going to be.
Katrina Head is going to do her personal best. There it is.
40.71.
5 seconds off of her personal best.
Oh, she's just got to get those last. There it is. 51 flat. Nice work. Give them a round of applause. Great work, Gold Coast. All right, we're going to wait to see what that does to our leaderboard.
Both cuts were good.
Both cuts good. Big round of applause, ladies and gents, for Katrina Head, Adele DeVrel.
Alrighty, so just looking at our live leaderboard, Dan, who does that mean is still in first place? We're just going to wait to see the points come through.
I believe it's going to be Jodie Butel still in first, and there it is. Renee Redslag still in second.
Jode's in first place still. Do you reckon you can hold on to that one?
Well, still 2 to go, so these girls could pull off anything at the minute, but from my underhand cut this morning, that's pretty unreal to see that up there. So
nice work. Well, we're going to have you wait here just to add the extra pressure. You know, just like it wasn't enough pressure being up there for the day. Blame Lee, not me. Thank you.
Madison Curley and Amanda Beams are yet to cut. Amanda Beams on 17, so she needs only 4 points to rocket into the lead. Madison Curley on 15 needs 6 points to get up over Jodie Butel. So we're going to need some strong finishes here. Amanda Beams has an excellent personal best of 25 seconds. Madison Curley is rocking a 42 on her PB. So she'll need to rein that in, bring that down if she wants to be competitive here and take out the Australian Women's STIHL Timbersports Championship.
Alrighty, I think it's time that we bring out our final competitors up onto stage. Can they knock off Jodie Butel on the 21 points? Renee Retzag, of course, currently in second. We're going to wait to see. Let's welcome up to stage, please. Make some noise for Madison Curley and Amanda Beams. Alrighty. So we're just working out the maths here while Lee is, I'm just going to say it, in terms of what they need time-wise to get into first place. And her time is better overall, which is important. Do you want to explain that one as well, Lee, in terms of the timings, if there's equal points?
Yeah, so we're just got to try and work this out. So I think Amanda here is on 17 points, so she's 4 points behind Jodie. Her overall times are faster so far, Amanda. So she needs at least 4 points to get into joint first place. 5 points, which means she needs a time faster than Katrina Heads at the moment of 40.47.
How about Amanda Beams on a combined time of 51 seconds, Lee, which is the only competitor going into this heat, which was sub 1 minute into this discipline.
So Lee, can you explain? Tell me if I'm right here. If Amanda Beams does a time faster than 32 seconds, she wins.
Faster than 40.47 seconds, she'll be at the top. But then we've got Madison Curley is going up against her. So if Madison's time, she is 6 points behind off the lead. So if she gets 7 points, a time of 32.35. Then she could jump up. But then it's going to be a battle between these two because they'll be on the same point. So the winner here, above
let's say if the winner
sixth
here
place
comes in under 35 seconds, they win it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dan. That's why you're here. That's why you're here.
35 would be more than enough to get up the leaderboard.
I feel like you need a maths degree to do it.
You do.
PBs from these two. So Maddie 42.35, Amanda 25.14. So if you're a betting man, you're going to be betting on Amanda Beams to take this one out. But we know Maddie Curley has been training on the single buck for sure.
No pressure, Amanda. We know you can hear us. But you are the favourite to take it out now.
You can't
but who knows with STIHL Timbersports? This is why we love it so much. You just have no idea what is going to happen. But this is a big one, ladies and gents, for the Australian Women's STIHL Timbersports Championship. This is it. This is the moment, guys.
And Dan, and you just need to note that obviously Amanda Beams is a left-hander as well.
Southpaw.
Yep. Raging southpaw. She's got one of her sons, I believe, helping her there as well.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And they're off and soaring. Nice strokes by both the guys there. Really good start. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. It's all going to come down to this. The Women's STIHL Timbersports Australian champion. Who is going to take it out? Who has got it in them to get the best times? Nice strong strokes there by the ladies going through. They are neck and neck through the middle section. Curley probably with a slight lead as they get into the tough part here. Here's where we dig deep. Make some noise for them, Gold Coast. Come on.
Wow, Madison Curley powering through.
Oh, she's done it.
That could have won it.
And Beams there at 38.46. Give him a big round of applause, please. Gold Coast.
Holy cow, Lee. This is going to be very interesting, my friend. This we are seeing it unfold in front of us right now. Madison Curley could have done enough there to win it. Maybe.
Oh, this is so close here. We are going to wait and we're going to put a leaderboard up on the screen.
Oh.
Are we talking equal points, Lee? Are we talking that's where we might have ended up? Well, we're getting ahead of ourselves once again. Over to the officials to see if both cuts were good or not.
There it is. Give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Both cuts are good, but ladies and gentlemen, if we get the scoreboard up, we keep the two ladies up on the stage there.
I'll have a quick chat to both of you guys. Come up here in the middle, just while you're puffing.
And we'll get Jodie up onto the middle as well. We'll just hold the leaderboard
All right,
for
now,
2 seconds.
Now, ladies, I know you're both puffing. Beamsy, how do you think you went there?
Oh, it was bloody terrible. But anyway, I got it off.
Do you think it's enough to take the points?
I don't know.
We are so close, so just going to let you know,
Now,
if the points are tied, Gaz, it goes to a sum of overall times.
Okay.
So it'll be the lady with the fastest time of the 3 disciplines together. So if we can please get the leaderboard up, and we will announce
off the stage.
our women's champion for 2019.
It's Amanda Beams!
It's Amanda Beams, but all 3 are on at 21 points. What a competition that was. A 3-way tie, but it comes down to overall times.
Amanda Beams, her combined time for the 3 disciplines was 1 minute 30. Madison Curley, 1 minute 40. And Jodie Butel, 2 minutes 13. So Amanda Beams has won it by 10 seconds.
Give me a big round of applause, please, Gold Coast! All right, might have a quick chat with all the girls there. All right, so it all came down to consistency. Josie, you must be happy with that. Really, a little bit slow at the start. You've come home with a wet sail.
Yeah, and that's heaps more than I expected from my start. But to be on the podium with these ladies is fantastic, and equal points, and it just came down to times. What a way to finish! Well done, girls.
Fantastic start. Now, obviously, again, equal points. You must be very, very happy with that.
Yeah, I'm just shocked that I could get that off in that time, to be honest. Yeah, no, I'm just so happy to be here and to be out with these ladies and all the ladies competing today. It's a great experience, so thank you.
All right, Beams, you come up to the front here. Got the Puma Kings on as well. I didn't even notice him. Now, I briefly saw the husband over there. Where's Beams? Where's Beams? There he is. Oh, he's off the pub. Congratulations. You were champion 2 years ago. Last year, you had a bit of a hiccup. You're back. How do you feel?
Bloody awesome, mate. Bloody awesome.
Fantastic. Give a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Your women's champions for 2019. Just step there for a photo, girls. Alrighty, what a competition.
Okay, we're just going to set the podium up here, and we'll invite Joe Katsos, Marketing Director of STIHL Australia, to come and hand out the medals to our 3 ladies up here.
Of course, we've got our next competition coming up very shortly. The rookies. Hoping to kick that off, you would say probably 20 minutes from now. 10 past, 12:15, we'll get to the rookie championship.
What a competition. Can you believe it came down that close? So we're talking microseconds with equal points. But what a finish. As always, STIHL Timbersports delivering, Dan.
You'll see a couple competitors from time to time in that top 3 on the same points and get divided on time. But as far as I can recall, that's the first time all 3 have been on the exact same points. 21 points, and Amanda Beams took it out by 10 seconds.
And basically what it was, it came down to consistency, that she just had the better times overall in the day.
Madison Curley got to be very proud of herself. Minute 40 total time, 21 points as well, of course. She's got a feel for Renee Retschlag, who was on 20 points, just 1 point shy, but her time was 1:45. So incredibly quick time, but just didn't get there on points.
Wowee. All right, so I think we're going to hand it over to our tournament director, Lee Gooch.
Thank you, Gaz.
Over you, Lee.
3rd year that we've been running the STIHL Timbersports Women's Championships now, and that has definitely been the best competition we've ever had. Just shows how much effort each of these ladies is putting in to train in all of these disciplines, and you can't ask for much more than a dead heat up on the top there. If we can get first up, please, Jodie, your 3rd place winner today I'll ask Joe Katsos to give the medal over to Jodie there. Okay, and in second place, please welcome up Madison Curley. Second place, I think 3 years in a row it has been now. That is one of the best single buck saws I've seen Maddie do. Just shows how much she is progressing as well. And your 2019 Women's Champion, Amanda Beams. Congratulations, Amanda. We'll just pose for a few photos here with the girls on the podium. Looks like we're good to go. Thank you very much. Might have a quick chat with Amanda just down here as the deck crew come and set up the rookies competition. Just do a group photo together. Dave, can we just do one with them together, holding the medals? Yeah. Get a nice back. What's the best?
Maybe just here.
Yeah.
Just getting a few photos of the girls. Fantastic stuff. They all look exhausted there, Dan. It's been a long day.
A misery whip for a reason, guys.
Yeah.
It's cruel of us to finish up on that one. The blokes finish up on the hot saw, which does a lot of the work for them.
Yeah.
That's a 5-second event. Although some of those hot saws, what do they weigh up to 30 kilograms?
Yeah, and the rest.
Here's me saying that the hot saw doesn't work. I couldn't actually lift one.
Yeah, you and I have to do a dual hot saw.
I'll take the non-blade end.
That's why the guys get first. Make sure you get some food, guys, from the food vendors, of course. And then we've got the bar open, so get yourself a cold frothy. Back to Lee. Going to have a chat with our winner, Amanda Beams.
Amanda, just guys had another quick chat to you. How does it feel to get the gold back around your neck?
Oh, it's an awesome feeling. Thanks, Lee. Yeah, bloody awesome.
So just talk us through today. What was the tactics? Did everything work out exactly how you'd planned?
Yeah, I just sort of approached each event as I had to. My underhand came off a little bit better than I thought it was going to. So, yeah, I guess that fast time in that underhand certainly helped me at the end of the race.
It definitely did. Congratulations, Amanda. 2019 Women's Champion. See you back maybe here again for next year. See if you can back that one up. Thank you. Okay, we're just going to roll some ad breaks now, just as we get the rookies competition set up, and then we're going to go straight into that.